What the hell, man?
Hey, my man, what's going on?
What the hell, Canada?
Well, yeah, I know. We're all
I've got it is literally smoke from your bullshit in New Jersey.
Are we smoking your ass out too?
Yes.
Holy fuck.
Yes. Yes. Like it smells like someone's got a barbecue going on.
Yeah, or like fucking campfire, right?
Yeah. It's actually not bad, but whatever. I'm inhaling. But
yeah, it's not bad except it's fucking killing people.
yeah, well, of course, it's like everyone wear a mask.
Yes.
Fucking great. Hey, fucking hey. No, we'll get you wearing those fucking masks.
One way or another, that's right.
It's gonna happen. Holy fuck. Christ, man.
Yeah, it's just all out of the fucking blue. All of a sudden, there's fucking fires out east of me, out west of me. It's like, what the fuck?
Right. Well, my
fucking Smokey the Bear is fucking done. We're firing his ass.
Right. So don't get me in the Smokey Bear debate. Because that was the thing. Is technically Smokey Bear, not Smokey the Bear.
Well, it's Smokey. Well, really? All right.
That's what they used to run a commercial when I was a kid, and they're like, "It's not Santa the Claus. It's not. It's Smokey Bear. He's got Smokey Bear on his."
You're not thinking of fucking Yogi Bear, are you?
See, Yogi Bear, not Yogi the Bear.
That's
or Boo Boo the Bear. It's the bear. They're obviously related.
Let's ask Google. Google knows fucking everything.
I do. But what happens is it's like if enough people say it, they're like, oh, it's both. I'm like, bullshit.
Yeah, it can't be.
Fucking bullshit. Fucking both. Yeah, dude. So, yeah, fucking smoking us out. And I'm like, well, since Canada gave up their guns, I'm like, let's just go up there and fucking do something about it.
Speaking of fucking guns, I got my license renewed, right? Because I have my restricted, non-restricted, and I look like such a fucking criminal on the goddamn license. It's like, holy
right,
Christ.
of course, and whatever list you wind up on.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we're all on lists. I mean, the funny thing is, it's like it was interesting. Like, there's a documentary about UFOs and how the one guy was, had high security clearance and, he's basically a whistleblower. And he's like, look, he goes, these guys, they do all this cloak and dagger shit. He goes, but the reality is their surveillance is so fucking good that if they want to, whatever code you're doing, it doesn't fucking matter. They've got it down. So he goes, we might as well just speak freely. He goes, some of the worst things that happen is like my messages don't get sent. He's like, maybe there's a Black Hawk helicopter outside my house, shit like that. He goes, but no one's like trying to kill me yet. So, whatever. And then the thing is, it's like, did you see all the shit that's going on? I mean, it's going on with UFOs, but like all these whistleblowers, like, there's a dude, it was on Barstool Sports, a guy from hold on, I just want to pull this up. Blah, blah, blah. Where the hell is that? Barstool Sports. UFO.
I don't know, man. People are gonna rewatch this when you fucking post it. There's gonna be a lot of angry comments coming back at us over that Smokey the fucking Bear thing or Smokey Bear.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you. So yeah, so this thing. So let me just share this. Okay. So former CIA specialist spills the secrets from Area 51, including its original name. Even all you sad, pathetic people who are not up to UFOlogy, who have blah 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 blah.
Thing UFOlogy?
Yeah. CIA Station D was original name for Fair 51 and has been a base written by T.D. Barnes. Reveals, so this guy in front of Congress, Area 51 was never secret. You knew the existence of it. It's just who was out there and what they were doing. Thornton T.D. Barnes, a former Central Intelligence Agency radar specialist, said to 8 News. This guy testified before Congress. So they're talking about shit where he's like, yeah, we've got foreign technology, not of this earth. He's like, we're using it and we're developing it and it's fucking real.
And we're starting wildfires in fucking Canada with it.
Well, it's like, what's strange is like, we get, the bullshit that like, I feel like if I was a kid and this came out, people would go nuts. Right? I mean, you'd be like, holy shit. And then watch another documentary. It's like UFO, the final decision or something like that. And that basically talks about United States shadow government, which has been developed. We've got these massive budgets, and like, why do you think a stealth bomber costs $2 billion when it should probably cost like a couple $100 million to make? Right? Where there's like extra, like a toilet costs like $50,000 or something stupid like that. He's like, well, all this extra money gets diverted. Obviously, I don't know to what scale, but you've seen things where, and I haven't delved down deep into this at all, but the questions are, it's like, okay, our budget is so many trillions of dollars, but then we go through each of where it's spent, and like there's like over half of it that's not accounted for.
Yeah.
So that's where this like shadow government shit is happening. But so basically he's saying this in this documentary is that all of what we're seeing is actually new technology developed by us that is just, hyper, above top secret. So, which is interesting, but I think there's maybe a combination of the two. You're like, there's like probably, we've developed tech that's, that we've recovered or has been shared with us. It's like because, and this is the other thing, it's like you've got to naturally assume the aliens are peaceful.
We're going to do that?
Well, yeah, because if they wanted to fuck us up, they just would. Think about it. I'm like, they've got this technology where they could travel, I don't know, travel between, galaxies or whatever using, wormholes, whatever the fuck is going on, or bending space and time, whatever.
You have for breakfast this morning.
Dude, you're fucking looking at it. I don't know what's in here. But holy shit, man, just think about it. It's like, if they had that tech, they could probably just obliterate us, no problem. I think they view us like, did you see like Chimp Island?
No. But now I'm going to
Chimp Kingdom, whatever. It's really good. But it's like, I think they're like looking at us like we're the chimps, right? Like they're just kind of observing, not getting involved.
We're like the fucking hamsters in the fucking hamster wheel, right?
Correct. Yeah, totally. Why wouldn't we be? And they're just observing us, and they're like, okay, that's what they do. Occasionally they'll grab one of us and stick a finger in an ass, whatever they do, just to kind of run some experiment and kick us back.
Just to remind us they're still there.
Right. But to think that, because if we really wanted to obliterate the chimps, we just go in there and just fucking just start shooting. So yeah. This is what I fucking think about sometimes, besides the other shit.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, man. So so the book is going well. They hooked me up with a writer, this guy Joe Krasnak, who's fucking awesome. Like, I write and I can communicate, but like for writing a book and like editing and proofreading, I mean, he's really kind of condensing everything. He feels bad because, he's like, some of the stuff that I have to edit out is just really good. He goes, but we have to keep it down into a format. I'm like, well, whatever's left over, I'm like, maybe we can fucking come up with another book.
Yeah.
But he's like, yeah, he goes, this is, it's great. He's like, he's really impressed. And I'm more impressed with him because, like, he's got a skill and, which anytime, so like he's looking at like 50 pages of shit and then he's organizing and he's remembering where things are in the book. He's referencing back to the chapters. He's, streamlining everything because I wrote it like I teach, where, if we're bringing up a new, if we're going into something new, I'm referring back to the time you did it before and you already learned it, so you're just applying it to here. So there's a lot of redundancy in my writing.
Yeah.
It just kind of like does all the references and fucking blah, 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 blah. So, but I mean, just the flow, it's really kind of amazing. And then of course the speed in which they read and they do this shit, because their mind is trained to edit.
That's fucking amazing, though.
Yeah, I can only imagine, how fast this fucker reads. So yeah, and
So
then
shout out to Joe.
yeah, fuck yeah. Well, it's funny. One thing he did say, which I thought was hysterical and kind of shocking. He's like, I get some of these guys and they're not really experts. He's like, I don't know how they get hired. He goes, but I wind up having to do research for a lot of this stuff. And he goes, I'm just pulling it off of like Google. He goes, at least with you, he goes, it's like, it's my job's easy. And I was like, thank you very much. I'm like, if I don't know this, I'm a fucking moron. But all the time I spent on it, you're like, holy shit. Yeah, you probably should be able to talk shit about it for an extended period of time.
At least a little fucking bit, right? So when's the
so everything's supposed to be in by July 27th, which means that then it would be ready to go to production. And I don't know, how long that takes. But so right now we've got chapters, we've got like 5, 6, 7. We're doing 9 and 10. So we're going through the entire book. Then I'm going to get the revised list of images that I have to shoot. Then I'm going to go shoot those, submit those. Then they make the rough draft for the full book. We read it a couple times, make sure it's saying what we want it to say, and then it's done. So really all of my writing is done. So now we're just proofing it, narrowing, editing it, getting those images. All I have to do next is just, obviously go, proofread what the edits are and then shoot the images, and then we're fucking done for the most part.
That's gonna be fucking awesome to see.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, these guys, so I'm getting feedback from them. I kind of can't wait for, the trolls.
Yep.
To come out, but so what we're going to do is we're going to promote it on Amazon. So once it's ready, we're going to put that link out and try to, hype everybody up to go get it. Because what happens is too with Amazon, with that algorithm, is that if you get a bunch of sales in the beginning, then all of a sudden they'll start presenting it first, in their search. So yeah. So we'll see.
Imagine you being a fucking best-selling author.
No. I mean, my whole thing is to drive people back to training, right?
Yes.
First, my whole thing is to get the truth out, and the fact that they're letting me, discuss it in a manner which it should be discussed, it's great, and they're not. It's unflinching, like they're letting me do my thing, so that's great. But the more people we can reach that haven't thought about this before or heard of us before, great. So first and foremost, get the truth out. Second is reach people that, will be introduced to who we are, what we do, and they can easily find everything that's in there in video form with the drills on the fucking site. Exactly. So, it's like, here you go. Oh, you need an instructor? Here you go.
Yeah.
So we have this stuff in place. So we'll see. As I said, it'll be interesting. To me, it's just a form of advertising that I get paid a royalty on. And yeah.
Fucking cool.
Yeah, very cool, man. So we are fucking excited. And then, oh, dude. So starting to advertise, we're working on it now on the Topple Network.
Okay. Yeah.
So, for those of you who don't know, if you advertise like, I don't know, anything to do with guns or body armor or self-defense, we're kind of like on like a no-fly list for Facebook, Google, YouTube. There's like most favored, nation status, I think, for other topics, right? But some of these are like verboten, us being one of them. And it's my belief that is why, we can't get past a certain point, with these platforms. So now, a thing called the Toplet Network. And if you have a product that is in these realms of firearms, survival, self-defense, I'm like, we haven't tested it yet. So, just put it on your radar and I'll be honest and let you know, because it's like, they deliver on sites that just are not allowed to, that don't get Google ads. They're not allowed, like AR15.com, anything to do with guns, firearms, self-defense, all that stuff that really doesn't get ads. They advertise on. It goes.
So taking a step back, how did you even fucking come across this Topple platform?
I want to say that I think they fucking contacted me.
Really?
I think they did. Yeah. I mean, look, we run ads, and they've got people, the algorithms and shit that are. I mean, I get shit for advertising all the time.
Yeah.
Like we got this, classified gun network and this other shit and stuff like that. But this was the one that, like, they're on the Blaze, they're on, Prison Planet, they're on places where our people are.
Yeah.
So if this goes well, we'll shift all our main budget to here, and then just do retargeting on the other platforms to people who've already been to the site.
Yeah.
So the that's one. Two is like the other, like the Fast Course page, which has been doing really well with the Old Man ad, which is getting a lot of new people in there, and we're only spending like a little bit of money right now because we are, we were testing it, and then things over, like, it's actually doing fine now, but things over like the holiday weekend here kind of like slowed down a bit.
Yep.
So anyway, so we're working on the new landing page now to make it more user friendly. So, we're looking, if we even, get like another % or 2 of conversions, that like almost doubles and triples our enrollment. And then we can really kind of push the pedal on this thing. And then we'll test it on this ad network as well to see what's, see if it, converts even as well. So, there's like, our problem has always been with these platforms is reaching our audience.
Correct. That's right.
So, you think that, well, it's like, no, because they don't even, like, Facebook doesn't even have a political, audience. Like, they don't have, like, Second Amendment, it's like, they don't have any of that shit. So, to target these people, you got to figure out like creative ways to get around, their fucking, bullshit. And this is what you talk about where, how do they, while they're banning posts, right? And while they're banning comments and banning people who talk about these things, they're banning people like us who are trying to get what we, get our products in this area out there. So there's like levels of this censorship that, I can't get to you. So let's say you really wanted, a bulletproof, concealed carry jacket. You gotta fucking, if you don't Google it, I may not be able to get to you because I don't know, your interests are what. I got to figure out your interests are free speech. I can't even use patriotism as an interest. It's fucking crazy. Wow. So, now, this will open up, again, if it does what it does. And what I like about these guys too is that they just chart, like, so since they're like Facebook or Google, right? So they're making their percentage on the, like, all the money we spend with them is all towards advertising. It's not like an agency fee.
Okay.
Like, you're not an advertising agency. That's like, I pay a guy 10% above what I spend on Google, on Facebook, to manage those ads, right? I pay another guy hourly to manage the Google and the YouTube ads. So that is, that's like on top of, because these guys, it's like me dealing directly with Google or Facebook. Whatever they're making is built into there.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, I don't give a shit. It's, if I get $3 or $4 more than what I spend, I'm fucking happy.
Exactly.
I don't give a shit where that dollar fucking goes. So, hopefully, again, this is, getting the right eyes in front of what we do. And the cursor,
and how long should it take to ramp that up and see some results, whether or not it's going to be efficient or not?
A month, at least. I mean, at most. Dude, if you're running ads and they're going to be remotely successful, don't believe what any of these motherfuckers tell you. You will tell immediately within 48 hours if your shit's going to convert. All right? Don't, because these ad agencies will tell you, well, we need 3 months, we need this, we need that. Fuck you, right? I hate ad agencies. I can't stand them. I think, they work like this. They'll get you in, and look, if they get like a good offer to a good audience, right? And they've got some, it's not a tricky sell. They're like, it's easy, right? So they'll put somebody on it. They'll start you with their A team, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if they can't get it done, then it'll get filtered down to whoever is in what part of the country that doesn't speak English, what part of the world that really doesn't understand the subtleties, and then they start managing it. And then, so usually that happens after like 2 months. So like, our thing has always been, it's been challenging with the training side, because, when we go to scale, like, things fall flat, which doesn't make any fucking sense. So, what happens with, and then, they're like, they'll start to, push back work. They're not as active on the campaign. Changes take longer than needed. And then they're just fucking pumping resources around. So like, we would start with like, I don't know, let's say Weekend Digital or Disruptive Ad Agency. Fuck them. So, these guys would, start, you'd get creative done in like 3 or 4 days. Then after a few months, I was with Disruptive Ad Agency for like 12 months, more than that. And then, they're like, well, we can't, we're getting stuff done. We're really backlogged. Now all of a sudden you're backlogged in production. Oh, great. So we're just going to keep running the same shit ad that's not converting in the meantime. So we're going to hemorrhage money. I mean, the hardest thing to do is to find small, boutique kind of guys and agencies, like 3 or 4 people that are running shit that you can get. I mean, you can get in a moment's notice. And then you really, really, really have to take control of your own creative. You got to understand how to copyright. You got to understand, what your, what's most important to your customer. You have to know these things, right? You can't depend on these fucking people to be like, okay, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, with, the backpacks and the jackets, it's a little easier, but the reality is it's like, instant front and back protection, 50 state legal, free shipping, patented deployment system. The jacket is like, front and back protection, hidden draw system, free shipping, right? I mean, that's easy.
Yeah.
I mean, the training is like, one, you don't need a black belt. You don't need to spend thousands of freaking dollars. You don't got to spend, you don't have to be athletic or great shape. Like, I can teach you something right now that will make you safer and smarter when you walk out the door, right? And you could try it for like a couple bucks,
Yep.
There you fucking know. You know, and then, you know, and then it's really like, you know, we're, you know, we lost track with the training side because we were focusing on bodyguard for so long, just to keep up and keep that, you know, sales funnel curve, because that's really what it is. It's exactly what it is. Fuck, everything's a sales funnel. So like the ad we got, that's doing well. Now I had a company look at the landing page, and they came up with shit we knew, but shit we needed to hear from somebody else. So we're in the process right now of rebuilding that. So hopefully it'll be ready to go in a few days. We'll start throwing it out and testing it. But, you know, I'm like you're doing the shit. Like, yeah, duh. You know, where you're like, yeah, you know, put this up here. You got wasted space here. You got too much copy here. You got blah, 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 blah. So, yeah. That, you know, so we're excited about that. Then we're going to work through the different sales pages and add the same elements to that, to those landing pages, and then do the same for bodyguard. But, you know, needless to say, it's like been, you know, I think, you know, we're definitely, you know, entering the right path. I mean, to be honest, right now we're almost 4 times what we were last year in overall sales. So, yeah, I mean, most of that's bodyguard. So now we're going to be bringing the training up to speed. We're doing that. That's been going on for weeks and months. So, but yeah, it's exciting, you know, that, you know, we're finally getting here. And I keep telling my guys in the factories, I'm like, orders like keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, you know, but I'm not going to order more than I need for 3 months.
Exactly.
Because what'll happen is then, you know, at least if I take a hit and like shit gets lost, you know, we lost a couple boxes of soft armor plates. They're replacing them, you know, or shit gets hung up. You know, I'm not like completely, you know, like if I bought for like the year, right, or like 6 months, I'd be like, fuck.
Yeah.
You know, like, and there was a fucking boat capsized. Eventually, I'll get that money back, but it's like insurance is like 90, 120 days.
Yeah.
You know, and that fucking sucks. So keeping cash reserves, keeping, you know, shit ready, paying for, you know, 2 kids to go to fucking college, you know, all that fun shit.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Life is good.
Yeah. So, dude, I didn't know you're dating someone for a while.
How did you not know?
I don't know, because I remember the last, you know, time was with the girl, the woman with the kids, right? This is not her, right? Is this her? This is the same girl.
No, this is not.
Yeah,
no,
correct.
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought you looked very happy.
That's right. That's right. There's no little bastard kid.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you know, hey, no problem. I mean, look, I mean, she puts up with you, so good for her, or good for you.
I don't understand that one fucking bit.
Yeah, right. I said, yeah, I mean, I look at it, I'm like, any woman that lets me crawl on top of her deserves a medal. Like, you know, I'm like, dude, I'm like, high five you. You know, because I'm like, yeah.
That's right.
I can't even stand me.
It doesn't come cheap.
No. My favorite old jokes, dad jokes, the difference between, you know, sex for free and sex for money is that sex for free costs more. You know? Right.
Yeah, right. It's actually funny that you just fucking, it's funny you just mentioned fucking dad jokes. So I've been fucking on TikTok, right, when I get fucking bored as fuck. And I don't know how the fuck it ended up on my fucking page, but there's these ridiculous fucking guys that are doing these dad jokes and fucking taking shots every time they're laughing. And I don't know if you've seen them, but they're fucking hilarious. I'll look for them and send them across to you. Like, holy shit.
Well, I remember there's a couple kids that were doing it, and then they say a dad joke, and then they do like a dad laugh, like, ha, 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 ha. I remember that. It was freaking funny. Yeah. So, yeah. So you're on the TikTok.
I can't get off the fucking thing.
Yeah, exactly. It works. I mean, we just launched a TikTok page for self-defense company.
It's like,
So you should follow.
you
So
know,
the first thing we put on there got banned. We had like 50 comments. It was the airport fight.
holy fuck. How do you get fucking shit banned on fucking TikTok? I mean,
Yeah, right.
I've seen stuff on there where it's like, holy fuck.
So we post that fight at the airport in, I think it was Chicago. And yeah, I'm like, that got banned from there. But then on the same token, it's like you will look at the comments on Instagram, and there are some racist motherfuckers out there. Like fucking scary, man. Like I walk around my life. I'm like, if you saw my friend group, you would see it was basically very diversified. If you would, I mean, I don't know. We really don't think about this shit. But so I look at the world and I'm constantly reminded that we all get along. Who gives a shit? I don't think about it. We bust each other's balls with it, and have fun with the stereotypes and all the other bullshit. And it's fun. But then when we post this and there's like a couple black women fighting and a couple white guys, and there's like these fucking dudes are like, boom, like not even like giving a shit. I'm like, you just put that out there into the fucking world. You just fling it out.
Yeah.
And you're just like, yeah, I don't give a shit. Fuck you. No one's gonna find me. What the fuck, man?
Yeah, you know that shit stays out there, right?
Yes. It's like, not that I think these things, but I do from a comedy standpoint. I mean, I totally do, right? And I like would just throw it out there, but it's like all of a sudden it's like, yeah, okay, I can say that to my friends, but I ain't throwing that out there. I'll put it in a text thread to my good friends, but I'm not dropping that to the universe, because dude, but these guys are not, it's not funny. It's like, yeah, I only want to fucking repeat the shit. But Angela is like, because Angela runs the social media. She's like, oh my God. And I'm like looking at the shit because I'm not on it. I mean, like I'll occasionally pop on and like whatever, but for the most part, I don't go on it. Right. So yeah, it's like fucking.
I mean, it fucking makes me laugh, right? Because we talk about shit is like out there and stays out there. I'm just thinking about all the people who, you remember when the fucking internet like first started, man? Everybody's getting emails and it was like fucking check my Willie 69 and all this fucking shit. That shit's still out there. People with their fucking email addresses putting it on their fucking resumes.
Right.
So it's like I'm afraid to think of the stuff that like I fucking put out when the internet first started.
Yeah, of course. But it was like, but then again, it was like, people taking things literally, or sometimes you say shit. And then it's like, I thought this back then. I don't think that any longer. There's no allowance for evolution, especially on the left. I mean, that's a reality. It's like, no, you said this fucking 30 years ago. Fuck you. You suck. I'm like, all right.
And it's actually fucking, it's interesting because, that happened to a fucking, that wrestler that fucking was in a car accident, Jay Briscoe, ended up passing away back in, December, November, whatever the fuck it was. But he had made a comment, fucking years and years ago, and I believe it was considered a homophobic comment, but anyways, that shit fucked him to the point where he couldn't even sign and wrestle with certain companies. Warner Media wouldn't allow him on television because of what he said, like fucking 20 plus fucking years ago. Like, it's crazy how shit can stay with you.
Right. Yeah. But again, but it's like, but then some people get a pass. Like, look at our current president. I mean, he voted against desegregating schools in like 70s, 80s in Delaware. And he was quoted to say, I don't want my kids going to a jungle, quote unquote. That's the fucking headline. So then he passed legislation in 94 about, with regards to crack cocaine being a higher penalty than cocaine, which is targeting fucking brown people.
Yeah.
Because that's who was using it at the time. So, I'm like, but this doesn't get, that doesn't stick,
Yeah.
And again, looking at but Trump's a racist. I mean, because we keep saying it, but I don't see him do it. Believe me, if he did something actually racist, and again, I'm not sitting there I'm blowing Trump. I'm just using it as an example because this is what's happened to this fucking guy. And he doesn't worry about me, and it's not like I would think I would get along with the guy personally. I think all these guys are sociopaths. But that being said, here's somebody who, there was, shit. I mean, targeted by both the left and right before he was running because the Republicans didn't fucking want him. We were watching him and we're like, oh, who the fuck is this guy? So, now they're calling him racist. If there was something really racist with all the bullshit that they threw at him with the impeachment and the Russia and all the other shit that came up, nothing. And nobody's held accountable because we just wasted a shit ton of fucking taxpayer money on these wrongful fucking investigations that, they would have come up with something. They came up with, on a hot mic with locker room talk, grab him in the pussy from God knows how long ago, which if you had a fucking microphone on anybody in a locker room, male or female, that shit is
all over.
All over, dude. You can't. I mean, this is people just talking shit, getting into it and fucking going for the joke. Right. So, it's not and then the one lawsuit that he had with a woman that won the civil case, first of all, that was from 30 years ago. Second of all, she said she was on fucking, they have a clip of her on, on CNN with the fuck's his name? Gray hair, gay guy. Anderson Cooper. Sorry. Okay. So he's on there and he's interviewing her. She's like, well, you're asking about the rape. And she's like, well, you don't have to be physically raped to be raped. And then he's like, what do you mean? And then they're cut to a commercial, because as she's going off the fucking rail. So basically she was coming out with a book. She put that excerpt out in the post. She didn't go to the police. She wasn't physically raped. She wasn't even touched. She was saying she was, verbally or emotionally raped, and I wonder how an actual rape victim feels about that. Right? When I'm watching the shit on Netflix about the accused and how, shitty law enforcement investigations, you got to see this shit. I mean, some of the stuff you're like, holy shit. These girls go in, they're like, I was raped. And then they're like, cops just fucking not even interviewing the fucking guy that raped them or was accused of raping them. Not even. And not even looking for any witnesses. They say, I think the worst thing our country does is allow cops to lie in interrogation. They said we have video evidence. Video evidence. Oh, do you? And then you start thinking. And then the way your mind works is you alter shit because it's a survival instinct, right? So you just want to get through the moment and see what you need to fucking to solve this problem. So now these poor girls, are like, oh, there's videotape. And then the video surveillance they have isn't even of them. Somebody else, or it just doesn't exist. I mean, you got to watch this fucking shit on Netflix. I'm like, holy crap, man. And again, the time they have a rape victim, right? She's in the police station. They're interrogating her for hours. And I'm like, were they even Mirandized? I don't think they were given their rights. And meanwhile, the fucking purple come in and they'll talk to him for 20, 30 minutes and then let him go.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, maybe he was drunken, maybe he did this, maybe he did that. And they're like, I don't know, maybe, and they're fucking traumatized girls without any representation. I'm like, if you're going to question anybody, everybody should have fucking counsel there, no matter what.
Exactly.
No matter what. My fucking girl, something happens to my little girl, fuck you. She's going to the cops with a lawyer. she's going to give her statement, and then he's going to be there. You know, but these girls got convicted and went to jail for wrongful accusations after being fucking, you know, allegedly raped.
Holy fuck.
I mean, it's fucking unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. And you could see like how they're getting interrogated, and then they're getting sweated. And then, you know, so you're sitting in there for literally 3 or 4 hours after you've been assaulted and you're completely traumatized. And now this guy's breaking you down and you know, by yourself. Holy shit, man.
I'd love to fucking watch that. Like, holy fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. I just, you know, it's fucking, you know, and that shit, you know, with all the Me Too shit, you know, that shit goes by. You know, I mean, you're like, look, everyone, due process.
Yeah.
Right. That's all we're saying. You know, you're not necessarily taking her word for it, but you have to treat her, you know, you're collecting evidence, you're getting testimony. You know, you're going in there, and the fact that you're lying to somebody to trick them up, it's fucked up.
Yeah, that is.
I mean, I know you can't do that in the UK. I don't know if you can do it in Canada.
I don't believe you can.
You know, but lying to a suspect or a witness or a complainant, you know, it's a fucked up practice. You know, yeah. I mean, that's got to change. That it has to change. Yeah. So, on that note, what are you doing this weekend?
You know what, man? I'm gonna try and fucking find that thing you were just talking about on fucking Netflix.
Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah.
I want to check that out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, that thing. Hold on, let me just see. Let me just get up the show so we can. Netflix victim suspect. Yeah, victim suspect. Overview. Images. Here it is. Yep. Is it? So share. Okay. So that's it. Victim suspect.
Victim suspect. Is this like a series of shit, or is it just like one?
Yeah, there's like I think there's a handful of episodes. Yeah. But yeah, like some of these girls fucking spent, you know, years in jail. Like a year. I think like this girl, I think Diane Bermeo spent like a year in jail. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there's 7 episodes, I think. Or they may be combined into a couple. But yeah, this girl, yeah, it's brutal. It's brutal.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna fucking check that out.
Yeah. So I mean, these 2 women were kind of like running the investigation. And then it's like, you know, the pompousness of the you know, detectives that are you know, investigating this shit. We're like, yeah, you know, you're like, dude, I'm like, you can see, I mean, like immediately, like, so yeah, that one girl in the trailer, she comes in, she's giving her statement, and then they're like, all of a sudden they're putting the cuffs on her. They're like, holy shit, one girl killed herself.
Holy fuck.
After years, you know, years later, you know, she came up, she's like, that's it. And that was it. I mean, it's fucking awful. I mean, as a parent of a daughter, it's fucking infuriating. I mean, again, you know, there's certain percentages that are, you know, regret, not these, I don't think, but, you know, they deserve to be investigated legitimately.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying. You know, it's not like all of a sudden I'm like, oh, they're right. But dude, due process. I'm watching this. You watch this shit and you're like, how does this happen? And how do these fucking cops do this? Because it only means that they're going in with the assumption that she's lying.
Exactly.
You know, especially like a few of these around universities, like Alabama and some other shit, and those places will do anything to cover up sexual assault and crime on campus. Anything. So, I mean, that's business, man. They don't want to fucking, they don't want to, lose enrollment.
That's right.
So, yeah, I mean, it's fucked up. So, yeah, definitely people watch that. All right, man. So, yeah, I saw a couple guys like kicking around the instructor program.
Yeah. Things are going very, very well. They're going very well, and they're continuing to. We got some new people inquiring. We've got a lot of interest actually that's starting to come from Europe, believe it or not.
Well, we started advertising there.
Yeah.
Again. So we may try a new app called Group Spot.
Okay.
I think we'll be able to share instead of doing Telegram. A guy I know, like his company made it, so we can get on there for free.
Okay.
What I'll do is I'll set it up. I'll send you over the invite. I think because you can share media and social media. I think it's an interface that I think it brings everything in one spot. So.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I think we can. I think we did it with my son's basketball team, and yeah, I think it could work for us. Yeah, so cool. All right, on that note, okay, cool. Everybody, till next time, train honestly. And of course, here I go again.